Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is quite a big book haul. So these are all the books I bought in January, and I've basically been saving them so I can make a video on them. I thought you guys might want to see them, so let's get into it. So the first book that I bought in January was Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. It says Eleanor is the new girl in town, and with her chaotic family life, her mismatched clothes, and unruly red hair, she couldn't stick out more if she tried. Park is the boy at the back of the bus, black t-shirts, headphones, head in a book. He thinks he's made himself invisible, but not to Eleanor. Never to Eleanor. Slowly, steadily, through late-night conversations and an ever-growing stack of mixtapes, Eleanor and Park fall for each other. They fall in love the way you do the first time when you're young and you feel as if you have nothing and everything to lose. So, I believe this one's YA. I have wanted to read it for a while, to be honest, but I've never been in the situation to buy it, and it was in my local TK Maxx, so I thought I'd pick it up. So, this is the first book I bought in January. I then had a small trip out and noticed there was a works there, so I went into there. So, the next book I bought in January was Let's Split Up by Bill Wood. This one says, when hot it couple Brad and Shelley are brutally murdered in a manor on the edge of town, a group of friends investigates. A theory spreads around town as fast as a fire on the day of the killings. The old ghoul who haunts the house after his own murder has finally taken revenge. As Cam, Jonesy, Amber, and a new girl, Buffy, search for clues, the rumour feels closer to the truth than they had ever dared think possible. And as they enter the derelict building themselves, the idea of splitting up to find evidence will prove to be the best or worst decision of all. This is a mystery. I've seen some amazing reviews online. It's supposed to be really, really good. I do like a mystery occasionally, so I thought it'd be a good one to pick up. I'm really excited to read it, to be honest. So, yeah, that's book 2. The third book was a pre-order, and I feel like everybody's been raving about this one online, and it is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I have read this. I read it pretty much as soon as it came through my door. I really enjoyed it. I love this series anyway. I did pre-order this, but it come on release day, I think the 16th of January. It come and I've read it and I've really enjoyed it. But this one says, a determination to survive was never going to be enough this year. Get ready to brave the dark. After nearly 18 months at Basgiath War College, Violet Sorringale knows there's no more time for lessons, no more time for uncertainty, because the battle has truly begun, and with enemies closing in from outside their walls and within their ranks, it's impossible to know who to trust. Now Violet must journey beyond the failing Orician wards to seek allies from unfamiliar lands to stand with Navari. The trip will test every bit of her wit, luck, and strength, but she will do anything to save what she loves: her dragons, her family, her home, and him. Even if it means keeping a secret so big it could destroy everything. They need an army, they need power, they need magic, and they need the one thing only Violet can find: the truth. But a storm is coming, and not everyone can survive its wrath. Like I say, I love this series anyway, so I was always going to buy this. And when it came, I read it, and I did really enjoy it. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give spoilers out. But if you haven't read the Fourth Wing series yet, definitely pick it up. It's so good. Especially if you like fantasies and dragons and that sort of stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. So this was the third book that I bought in January. I then went on a little shopping trip and went into WH Smith's. They got a 3 for 2 on some of the books, so I decided to pick a few up. I picked up House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. I've got the ACOTAR series, I've got the Throne of Glass series, so naturally I'm going to read these ones as well. So this one says, Bryce Quinlan loves her life. Every night is a party and Bryce is going to savour all the pleasures Lunithian, also known as Crescent City, has to offer. But when a brutal murder shakes the very foundations of the city, Bryce's world comes crashing down. 2 years later, Bryce still haunts the city's most notorious nightclubs, but seeking only oblivion now. Then the murderer attacks again, and when an infamous fallen angel, Hunt Athalar, is assigned to watch her every footstep, Bryce knows she can't forget any longer. As Bryce and Hunt fight to unravel the mystery and their own dark pasts, the threads they tug ripple through the underbelly of the city, across warring continents and down to the deepest levels of hell, where things that have been sleeping for millennia are beginning to stir. So that's what that one says. And then this one says, Bryce, Quinlan and Hunt Athalar have made a pact. As they process the events of the spring, they will keep things platonic until winter solstice. Will can the two resist, when the crackling tension between them is enough to set the whole of Crescent City aflame? But they are not out of danger yet. Dragged into a rebel movement, Bryce, Hunt and their friends are unwittingly pitted against the terrifying Astery. Beings who notice must be avoided at all costs, but as Bryce and Hunt learn more about the rebel cause, they face a choice. Stay silent while others are oppressed, or fight. And they've never been very good at staying silent. So that's what that one says. And it was 3 for 2, so I also picked this one up, which is Alice by Christina Henry, and I'm led to believe this is a bit like a Twisted Tales book. So this one says, in a warren of crumbling buildings and desperate people called the Old City, there stands a hospital with cinder block walls which echo with the screams of the poor souls inside. In the hospital there is a woman. Her hair, once blonde, hangs in tangles down her back. She doesn't remember why she's in such a terrible place. Just a tea party long ago and long years and blood. Then one night, a fire at the hospital gives the woman a chance to escape, tumbling out of the hole that imprisoned her, leaving her free to uncover the truth about what happened to her all those years ago. Only something else has escaped with her, something dark, something powerful. And to find the truth, she will have to track this beast to the very heart of the old city, where the rabbit waits for his Alice. So this sounds like a dark, twisted version of Alice in Wonderland, and I do love these twisted tales, so I'm really excited to read this one. Quite intrigued me when I saw it in the shop, so I thought I'd pick that one up. I did then buy another copy of Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. I have all the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children books, but my copy of Library of Souls got damaged, so I did buy a second copy just to replace that one. This is my favourite book series of all time, so obviously I had to replace the damaged book because I want to keep the series. So yeah, I got this one. And this one says, the adventure that began with Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and continued with Hollow City comes to a thrilling conclusion with Library of Souls. As the story opens, 16-year-old Jacob discovers a powerful new ability, and soon he's diving through history to rescue his peculiar companions from a heavily guarded fortress. Accompanying Jacob on his journey are Emma Bloom, a girl with fire at her fingertip, and Addison McHenry, a dog with a nose for sniffing out lost children. They'll travel from modern-day London to the labyrinth alleys of Devil's Acre, the most wretched slum in all of Victorian England. It's a place where the fate of peculiar children everywhere will be decided once and for all. Like its predecessors, Library of Souls blends thrilling fantasy with never-before-published vintage photography to create a one-of-a-kind reading experience. And like I say, this is my favourite book series of all time. I really love this series. I don't think it gets as much hype as it deserves, to be honest. And I am going to do a reread soon. So, like I say, I wanted a new copy of this one just to replace my old one. So, I decided to get that one. I then went to the works for the second time this month and picked up 2 more books. The Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Qureshi and Rising Divine by Lana Harper. I didn't realise this one was one in a series. It's something like book 5 in a series, so I will need to get the rest of them. But it sounded interesting, so it might be worth it. And Baby Dragon Cafe says, welcome to the cutest and most complicated cafe in town. When Saphira opens a cafe for customers with pet baby dragons, she isn't expecting it to be quite so hard to keep the fires burning, but her young dragon patrons keep incinerating the furniture, which means selling coffee isn't covering her costs. Local heartthrob Aidan is a gardener, though his disobedient baby dragon is a major distraction from his beloved plants. However, Saphira's cafe gives him an idea. He'll ask Saphira to train his dragon and pay her enough to keep the cafe afloat. They know they're the answer to each other's problems, but happy-go-lucky Saphira and gorgeous but grumpy Aidan couldn't be more different. Can they find a way to work together and maybe even ignite some fire of their own? So I'd seen a bit about this online. It's supposed to be quite cosy. I do like these sorts of books. It's supposed to be quite similar to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series, apparently. It's supposed to have the same sort of feel. So I thought this one would be a nice one to read maybe over the summer. So yeah, I decided to pick that one up. And then Rising Divine says on the back, to save both her town and the woman who loves her against all odds, a witch haunted by loss must reckon with her turbulent past. Even in a family of chaotic necromancers, Daria Dasha Avramov has always been an outlier. An event planner at the Arachne Emporium occult megastore, Dasha is also a devil eater, a rare witch with a natural affinity for banishing demons and traversing the veil. Still grieving the loss of her parents and plagued by a dangerous obsession with what lies beyond the other side of the veil, Dasha is both fiery and guarded. An expert at dodging commitment, her one real regret is a devastating breakup with Ivy Thorne. When they are forced to work together to plan a festival, Dasha hopes that sparks might fly once again. But as they confront the fault lines and passion lingering between them, Dasha and Ivy must also stand against an otherworldly threat, unlike anything Thistlegrove has faced before. So like I say, this one is the 5th, I think, in a series, so I do need to get the rest of the series now. Just gives me an excuse to buy more books, I suppose. But yeah, this sounded quite interesting. Sort of a autumnal vibe, maybe. Might be a good one to save for maybe that time of year. I'm not sure. I might read it before. But yeah, this one really intrigued me. And I thought it'd be a good one to read. So yeah. I then went to Waterstones. I did have a voucher for Christmas, so I went in there to see what deals they got on basically. And I may have gone a bit crazy, to be honest. I got all the Lightlark series by Alex Asser. I got The Glass Girl by Kathleen Glasgow. And I got the Delegate Dream Department Store, I think that's how you say it, by realiy. Like I say, went a bit crazy. I went in there mainly to get this series because I've seen a lot online and I was curious about it. This one says, every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game, where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide. Each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves and their realms, one ruler must die. To survive, Isla Crown must lie, cheat, betray. Even his love complicates everything. Nightbane is the second one in the series. And this one says, you were once the bane of my existence, and now you are the centre of it. Isla Crown has secured the love of 2 powerful rulers and broken the curses that plagued the 6 realms for centuries. But few know the true origins of her powers. Now, in the wake of a crushing betrayal, Isla finds herself struggling to win respect as the newly crowned leader of 2 separate realms. Worse, her fellow rulers haven't ceded victory quietly, and there are others in Isla's midst who don't believe her ascent to power was earned. As certain death races towards Lightlark and secrets from the past begin to unravel, Isla must weigh her responsibility to her people against the whims of the most dangerous traitor of all, her heart. And then the third one in the series, Skyshade, says, love kills kingdoms. Back in Grimm's castle on Nightshade, Isla is reeling in the wake of a brutal battle, and the devastating truth is exposed. Her future and the fate of the world now hinge on a heart split in two. Past Isla, who fell in love with the ruler of Nightshade, fights to resist feelings she considers treasonous. The Isla of the present, who has seen the ruin her powers can cause, will do anything to save Lightlark and its king. As the line between enemy and friend is tested, Isla is more desperate than ever to understand the Oracle's final prophecy and change her heart-rending fate. But a storm is coming, and with it, a long-buried evil greater than anything that realms have faced before. The clock ticking on her destiny and the survival of 2 warring kingdoms, hinging on her own shattered heart, Isla Crown will either save the world or destroy it. Like I say, I have seen a lot about this series online and it really intrigues me. I think it's a romantasy, which I've begun to really enjoy, to be honest. I've read quite a bit of romantasy last year and I really enjoyed them, so I do want to read more. So I thought I'd pick these up and see what happens with them, basically. So I am really excited to read them 3. Then we've got The Glass Girl by Kathleen Glasgow, which says, I am the problem, it's me. I am the problem. No one wants to solve or love. Bella is at breaking point. Everyone in her life needs something from her, and there's only one thing that dulls the pain. Alcohol smooths the sharp edges and makes it all so much easier. When Bella drinks, she doesn't feel heartbroken over her ex or caught in the middle of her parents' divorce. But one night changes everything. When she awakes in hospital with no memory of what happened, it's time to face reality. And for Bella, that means rehab and the bumpy road to recovery. So this one sounds like it's going to be quite dark. I think Kathleen Glasgow is known to write about some strong topics, if that makes sense. But I've never read one of her books before, and I've heard really good things. So I thought I'd pick this one up. So, yeah, I'm curious about this one. Then we've got this series, the Dalajit Dream Department Store. I don't know how to say that word. And then the return to the Dalajit Dream Department Store as well. So the first one says nothing because it's just got this on the back. It's inside the cover. It says, in a mysterious town hidden in our collective subconscious, there's a department store that sells dreams. Day and night, visitors both human and animal shuffle in to purchase their latest adventure. Each floor specializes in a specific type of dream. Childhood memories, ice skating, dreams of stardom, your crush. Flying dreams are almost always sold out. Dreams of your favorite food make you feel like you can almost taste it. Join Penny, an enthusiastic new hire, as she uncovers the workings of this whimsical world and bonds with a cast of unforgettable characters, including Mrs. Weather, her reliable confidant, Baby Nat Rockaby, a famous dream designer, Maxim, a nightmare producer, and Dalajit himself, the flamboyant and genius mastermind behind the store. So that's what the first one says. Then this one says, it's been a year since Penny first walked through the doors of Dalajit Dream Department Store, and surviving a year at the store means one thing. She is now an official employee of the dream industry. She can finally take the commuter train to the company district, where all the dream production companies are located, and discover how all raw dream materials and testing equipment are produced. But there's a lot more to the company district than meets the eye. At the Civil Complaints Centre, Penny learns about the regular customers who have stopped coming to the store, and she gets to the bottom of each complaint. She begins to transform from simply selling dreams to understanding what lies in the hearts of their lost regulars. So, I think this is going to be really cozy. I really enjoyed the When the Coffee Gets Cold series last year, and when I read into this, it sort of felt like it had the same sort of vibe, and I wanted something I could read that was cozy and quite an easy read, and I thought these would be good books for that, so I thought I'd give them a go. Plus, the covers are absolutely beautiful, and they really intrigued me. The colours on them are absolutely amazing, and I love them. So, yeah, I picked them up. And then the last two books I got in January, I got from my local Tesco. I got The Beholders by Hester Musson, and this one says, London, 1878. A body emerges from the River Thames, suspected to be the missing child of the MP, Ralph Geffen. 4 months earlier, Harriet is a young maid newly employed at Finton Hall, where she finds herself entranced by her famous master Ralph Geffen and his glamorous wife Clara. But Clara, though captivating, is erratic. Ralph is strangely absent, and their beautiful belongings seem to tell terrible stories. Unable to ignore her unease, Harriet sets out to discover their secrets. What she discovers could cost her everything, even her freedom. So this is a mystery, but it's a historical mystery. I love historical fiction anyway, so that drew me in. And the mystery element I thought was really intriguing, so I'm really excited for this one. I might pick this one up soon because I really want to know what happens. It sounds pretty good. So yeah, there's that one. Last but not least, Forget Me Not by MJ Aldridge. And this one says, when local teenager Naomi goes missing, Detective Inspector Helen Grace is her only hope. But with the police force under fire from all sides as a gang war grips the city, Helen will have to defy direct orders to search for her. Helen's secret investigation follows a disturbing trail of missing girls disappearing from the streets. She's the only person looking for them, and with the clock still ticking, she's about to have more enemies than time working against her. So this is another mystery. I thought it was quite intriguing. I've seen a lot about it online, to be honest, But again, this one is one in a series. I didn't realise when I got it, so I might have to get the rest of the series. But yeah, I do like a mystery now and again. It just breaks up the other genres that I read. I like something that keeps my brain ticking, and I thought this one sounded quite intriguing. So yeah, that's why I picked that one up. So that is the end of my January book haul. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment and subscribe underneath, and I will see you all again next week.